Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks host the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Tonight at 7 p.m., it's soccer night, and kids glow around the bases postgame. Saturday at 6:30, it's Broadway night with postgame fireworks and Broadway rave. Sunday at 1:30, it's Military Appreciation Day, and the kids run around the bases.
A great day out for the entire family. Kids run the bases after every Sunday home game. Want the best seats all season? Get more Ferry Hawks for only $63. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
There was a different world in America before 1850. It was a different world before 1850. And there was a systematic determination to erase it. And our government did something fascinating. They knew that that was an old world and it would never be the same. And after 1850, the world was going to be dramatically different on purpose. The government sent out in the 1930s, 1920s and 30s, teams of writers, journalist writers who were out of work because of the Depression, to the last living members of the old world, the ones who were born in 1850. And because of their grandparents and their parents, they had information about what the world used to be like. Now, if you were born in 1850, you were born before the Civil War. And then you lived after the Civil War. You lived through the invention of the automobile, the electric grid, air conditioning, public schools, World War I, World War II. You lived 100 years, you died in 1950. Think about what a person learned and saw between 1850 and 1950. Amazingly, 2,900 of those people were interviewed, and everything they said was transcribed in writing by federal employees. To have an endless snapshot, even more amazing, is after those writings were written down and those books were put together, nobody looked at them for 40 years. They were put in an archive. No, they weren't destroyed or anything. They were put in an archive. Nobody cared. And for 40 years, nobody looked at them. I'm going to reveal to you some of the things that were in those documents. The UFO files. The UFO files came out Friday and Saturday. Now, Walter Sterling and you had a preview of that from Ross Coulthart from News Nation. And we're going to hear more from Ross Coulthart. We'll also hear more from Dave Scott. Dave Scott will have a complete update about everything that was released on Friday and Saturday. Ross Coulthart will have everything that was released on Friday and Saturday. This will be well covered. One of the things that's interesting is how many people say, well, you know, we're not really seeing anything real. It's not very exciting. It's not very interesting. And I'm like, you're missing the point. It's not a Spielberg movie. And what did you think of the Spielberg movie? And what did you think of the Spielberg movie? 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. What did you think of the Spielberg movie? I hope you saw it on a big, giant screen. Like huge. But please consider what I'm about to share. Please consider. The promise was that the UFO files would be released. That's what our president promised. The UFO files would be released. They are being released. The unidentified flying object files are being released. And they all come with the note, we don't know what this is. Military releases it. Department of Commerce releases it. The Space Department, NASA, they're all releasing as much as they feel they can get away with, but it's unidentified. We don't really know what that is. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the promise. The promise was unidentified flying objects, unidentified UAPs would be released. They're being released. The promise was not identified files would be released. There was no promise saying, yes, we're going to release the identified files. We're going to, the things we know, the ships, the technology, the spacemen, the portals, the things they did identify, they never said they were going to release that. And this has annoyed Mr. Burchett.
We're up against corruption. We're up against a cover-up. This thing's been covered up at least since 1947. Dadgummit, the public deserves the right to know. It's your dadgum tax dollars. It's not about little green men or flying saucers. It's about what are we spending all these millions and possibly billions of dollars on that these idiots tell us don't exist. And then yet we turn right around in the skip and then they tell us they do exist. This is a cover-up. You all know it. We know it. We demand the answers, and dadgummit, we're going to get them. Look, we got one or two bites at this apple. Please be careful about the false information that's coming out of Washington on all this stuff. Trust your gut. You know what's right. You know they exist. You know this has been a cover-up since before most of y'all been born.
Tim Burchett has an open invitation to be on Sterling every night, the other side of midnight. He's welcome to come on and talk. Yes, I have called his office, and yes, I'm hoping he will come on, because as far as I'm concerned, this is not a very popular point of view. As far as I'm concerned, at the moment, he's part of the cover-up. If he was in a skiff and he knows what's there, I wish he would tell us. Yes, well, he signed secret papers. Yeah, okay. If something was in the sky and our government has it, that means I could have looked up in the sky and seen it myself. That means you and I could have seen it. Not much of a secret. Then taken into some secret place. But if he really feels that there's a corrupt cover-up, his job as a member of the legislature, the legislative branch of our government, his job is to walk down the halls of Congress, down the Senate halls, and pound on desk and say, I need this released. I need you to put he can't just keep saying, well, these are terrible people, it's a corrupt government. All right, well, could you please explain to us where the billions of dollars are going? Yes, he's a good guy. I know he's a good guy, and I know he's our friend. But the fact is, one of them has to stand up to it, and it sounds like he's ready to stand up to it and say, enough. Enough.